Welcome back to the DFS Sweatshop. I'm just finishing up shop. Throw them bitches in the main. I'm telling you. You're gonna see the results, bro. You're gonna see it. This is what's really gonna help you out. You know how I feel about the home dogs. There's a lot of fight in the home dogs, and I really think a lot of shit to go over tonight. Who that scored all them points over there? Player of the night.
Get him in your lineups. Get him in there, and let's go get this money.
Thursday, let's go, and remember, in the Sweatshop, we always keep it 300. What's up? What's happening? This is your big homie, the DFS Jerusalem, and you can follow me, of course, on Twitter at DFS Jerusalem. I am back with you. Yo, just made it back from out of town. Spent the weekend, the wife and I spent the weekend in Maryland, DC, Virginia area, in the DMV. My Uncle Fuzz, his 50th birthday party, man. It was a stone cold groove, man. I had a great time with a lot of the family there. Yo, shout out to the little homie, the little homie Dijon, man. Yo, that's my little cuz, man. Had a really good time with the young man, man. It was a perfect weekend. Got rid of the kids, got a chance to get to know the wife a little better. Ooh, yes, man. It was a good one. Had a great time, man. I'm really happy we were able to, man, to do that. So dope, loved it. Had an awesome time. So let's go ahead. Now, I owe you something. I owe you something because there's a cat that I gotta get on. Jose Calderon used a motherfucking snowflake, which was snowflake ass. LeBron James was horrible the other night. Now we went to the casino in the MGM. Oh my god, dope casino, right? It's a DC Harbor area. Went to the casino, had a great time. And while we were there, I looked at my phone. I had a nice sweat going, so I ended up doing really well in the tournament. Next day, went right back at it. Did not do so well. The core 4 for that day completely sucked. It was bad. It was just bad. And yo, that was horrible. So I'm glad today's a new day. NFL took place yesterday, so we can go ahead and jump into it, man. We've got I believe on DraftKings we've got an 8-game slate going on. All right, and by the way, what I'm working with here, of course, this is RotoQL, my very favorite DFS tool, one that I use all the time. I use it for FanDuel, DraftKings, and I also even play a little bit of Yahoo. We've got 8 games on tap for Monday. That's a pretty solid amount of games. That's right around my wheelhouse, man. Right around 8 games is where I love to be. I love to be right around 8 games. So we're going to go through these game by game, talk about them just a bit, and see if we can come up with our initial player pool. Now then, later on in the day, shout out to homie David Avila, just stepped in, man. What's up, big homie? Now, later on, we are going to come in, well, you all are going to come in and check me out inside of the DFS Sweatshop VIP. Yes. What we're going to do here on YouTube, we build our player pool, but then in the VIP, we're going to come up with our core 4 plays, kind of build some lineups, put it all together, make it all make sense, and hopefully go out there and get some of this money. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look, man. First game we got is going to be the Philadelphia 76ers and the Detroit Pistons here. Now, the Pistons are going to be at home. We've got a 214-point total, which is kind of rare. I can remember the seasons past, man, we didn't look for the Pistons to score many points, but there's a couple of guys that have been lighting it all the way up. And I'm talking about Tobias Harris, who's fairly priced at 6.8. We look at what he's been doing over the last couple of games, man. Tobias Harris has been pretty much on fire. He's one of the hottest small forwards in the league to start the season. 39 against my Knicks, 23 against Washington, started the season off with 42 against Charlotte. And the recurring theme that I see here is where there is weak small forward play, you've seen him really exploit that. But that matchup against Otto Porter, where he only had 23, you see what I'm saying? So if we take a look at who he's probably going to be up against here, Robert Covington, one of the better defenders in the league, one of the better on-ball defenders in the league. So if you're going to be playing Tobias Harris, I want you to take a little caution to that because Robert Covington is a very solid player. Now, on the flip side, with Tobias Harris being one of the primary scorers for the Detroit Pistons, you're going to see a lot of Robert Covington in order to man up with him. So his defensive usage should be fairly high, and that's what's going to put me on on Covington in some respects. I don't see a lot of people wanting to be on him. He's a guy that's a streaky shooter, but in this matchup where he's going to be required to play a lot of defense, that's a guy that I think you could get behind. Also, you look at Avery Bradley on the other side at 5.5. That's a very usable guy there at 5.5. Now, I hate to play Joel Embiid, but we've seen the minutes uptick some. The last game, they said he was going to play 16 minutes, ended up playing 26. This is a fire matchup against Andre Drummond. Andre Drummond is very active around the basket, defensively and offensively. And if you got a guy like Joel Embiid that can work around the basket, we've seen Andre Drummond so far this season play in a little bit of foul trouble. We've seen that. So if I had to pick right now a center to play from this game, it wouldn't be Andre Drummond, man. I would play Joel Embiid here. Suffice it that he does play. If he does play, he's a guy that I'm going to be interested in, most definitely. I kind of like him here. Ben Simmons, a guy, we've been targeting him. The price is at 8K. That's a little too rich for me right now. I don't think I want to pay for that. I like Reggie Jackson at 6.8. I think he's going to be usable as well in this game. Not so tough on Ish Smith, but so I don't love a lot from this game. The 214-point total is making me want to take a closer look at it. But when you take a look at, the inexperience of the Philadelphia young guys like Jared Bayless, Ben Simmons, Robert Covington, Markelle Fultz, who just has not been playing very well. There's other places to go. 8-game slate. There's other places we can go. But I'm gonna highlight Markelle Fultz here too. Next game we got is going to be the Atlanta Hawks going to Miami to take on the Heat. I will never play a point guard. Unless he's a straight up certifiable beast. You know what I mean? I'm not going to play a point guard in Miami against Goran Dragic, who's a very solid defender, one of the better defenders in the league on ball. So I'm not loving the homie here in this matchup. Dennis Schroeder, I'm not really liking him, but I do think Goran Dragic is in play. And I'm gonna tell you something about this game. We've seen Hassan Whiteside. He banged knees in his last game, and he sat out the last one, and it's a game time decision for this game. If he doesn't play, I love Goran Dragic. If he plays, I like Goran Dragic. If he doesn't play, I love Goran Dragic. If he plays, I like him. I still like him. So and also we'll be looking at James Johnson here at 5.9. This is if we don't see. This is if we do not see the homie Hassan Whiteside. Also, Kelly Olynyk is a guy that can be in play at 5.2, and that's if we don't see Whiteside. On the other side, Dwayne Dedmon, not a guy that I'm really interested in. I just don't play Kent Bazemore. I don't really see the need to. Honestly, this Atlanta team, man, it's really hard for me to gauge, bro. That's right. Yeah, Dennis Schroeder. Dennis Schroeder was injured today. Yes, that's right. And here's a game time decision. Or is he already out? Okay, cool. Let's take a look. I'm gonna take a look at what happened with Schroeder. Likely suffered a bone bruise in his left foot and is not expected to play in Monday's game versus the Heat. Okay, yes, yeah. Well, see, but that kind of changes things because one of the reasons why we wanted to attack Atlanta at the point guard position was because Dennis Schroeder is such a horrible on-ball defender. This is gonna put Taurean Prince in play more. This is gonna put maybe Bazemore is gonna have to do a little bit more ball handling here. So no, Bazemore's not dead to me. Bazemore not dead to me. Not yet. I mean, new season, new life. You know what I mean? New season, new life. Yeah, that's gonna put him in play some. Because that is gonna put Malcolm Delaney at 3.1, Taurean Prince at 5.4. Just any guys that can handle the ball in this spot, that can put them in play. But I still think Goran Dragic is a solid one here. Next game we got is going to be the Memphis Grizzlies and the Houston Rockets. 210-point total, man. I'm so glad this game is in Houston and not in Memphis because it's just so tough for me to play guys in Memphis. But I do think that James Harden is in play at 11.3. People are going to see how well the Memphis Grizzlies defend the point guard spot, and they're going to overlook that James Harden is not your ordinary point guard. He's just a primary ball handler and a true scorer. 11.3, fair price for him. I think this game does not blow out at all. The game stays close enough to where we can see 4 quarters of James Harden. If you guarantee me 4 quarters of James Harden, a guy that pretty much has something to do with just about every point that's scored for the Houston Rockets, definitely I'm gonna take exception to have a piece of that, most certainly. And I think a lot of that just is because you could really play well at the wing position. against Memphis. Like Memphis, the wing position is really where you can get paid against Memphis. And Trevor Ariza at 5.5 is going to be a usable play for me. I kind of like him here. I like the fact that Ryan Anderson is priced under 5K at 4.2. He's going to be usable to me. Don't really love Eric Gordon or Clint Capella, and we know that that PG-13. I mean, excuse me. Do you find it harder to win NBA to NFL? Hell no. NBA is my shit. NBA is my shit. I have respect for DFS as a whole. Like I'm not just gonna tell you, oh, I always win. Like I'm like some people will lie to you, but I'm profitable across all the sports. I take more money out than I put in across all the sports, across all of them. But the most is the NBA. That's where I win the most at. I win the most at, and it's due to a lot of things, man. It's due to my roster selection, the way I go about picking my players, the people that I talk to about it, which are the homies in the sweatshop. It's my bankroll management, bro. Like I don't go ham. Like a good night for me is not gonna make me play more money the next night. Like most people, they have a great night and like, oh shit, yeah, this is nothing. I can do this. And where they would usually play $100, they want to play $300, or they usually play $10. They play $10 and win 500. The next night they're playing 100. Like nah, I don't do that. I manage my bankroll. I manage it. You know what I mean? So on the other side, Marc Gasol, man, is in play for me at 6.4. Definitely. The one thing I like about Marc Gasol in this matchup, I know the DVP is tough, and Houston does run a lot. But the one thing I like about Marc Gasol here is he's going to be matched up with Clint Capella, a guy that just lives off of athleticism. You know, he goes for every head fake. You can easily get him in foul trouble. He uses straight up athleticism as a young, not a savvy young player. He just uses straight athleticism. And I think that Marc Gasol being able to step outside and shoot a mid-range jump shot and even go down and bang, and has a really decent array of post moves. I can see Marc Gasol doing well in this game at 8.7. I think I can get behind that. Mike Conley, of course, is a guy that I am going to like. And you'd also look at Andrew Harrison at 3K, man. Stone cold minimum salary here at 3K. Look at Andrew Harrison. If he's going to be starting, I think you can use him. I think you can use him. Tyreek Evans as well at 4.6 is a guy that I think I can get behind here, kind of like that. I am horrible at NFL defense player, but a good NBA defense player, and I learned everything from Maurice. Oh, shit. Thank you, bro. Me negro. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Next game we got is going to be the Charlotte Hornets and the Milwaukee Bucks. So it's a thing, man. Giannis is the first dude this season to approach, I think he's the highest salary guy of the season. So far, I don't think anybody else has cost this much, 12.2K. Who is going to do it? On an 8-game slate, okay? On an 8-game slate, in this matchup against the Charlotte Hornets, if there is anyone who can make good and give you, because what you need here, for this man to make 6x value, bro, you need like 75 points. You need 75. I can't do it. I can't get there. I can't do it. And I no, that's just too much for me. I look for reasons to fade guys that cost us so much. I can't do that. No, I won't have any of it. I got him on FanDuel, but not on DraftKings. Yeah, Giannis at 12.2. Nah, man, this is not. I can't do that. 12.2. That's ridiculous, bro. Brogdon got a big price bump. Yeah. Brogdon is now priced at 6.3. The guy I like in this matchup, I like Chris Middleton here. I like Chris Middleton because he should be maxed up a lot with either Dwayne Bacon or Jeremy Lamb, neither of which are like, awesome defenders. And when you look at Nick Batum not being there, that's taking away a lot of length on the perimeter for the Charlotte Hornets. So, and honestly, I would like Giannis some more if there wasn't a bona fide rebounder for the Charlotte side. But they've got Dwight Howard now, and he is cleaning up the glass. So I really don't see. I don't see. I mean, if you play Giannis, you're telling me you're guaranteeing a double-double and could definitely be a triple-double. Like that's what you're saying when you go with Giannis in the spot. So I'm not doing that. I'm not doing. Maybe if I've got the Hornets who were the horrible rebounding Hornets team from last year, the pace-up horrible rebounding team, maybe I can get there. But Dwight Howard not only collects rebounds, but he actually slows the games down and limits the possessions for both teams actually. So I'm gonna have more Dwight Howard at 7.4. I kind of like him in this spot. Brogdon at 6.3 is kind of interesting just because, I mean, Reggie Jackson, Was it Reggie Jackson who gave it to Kemba? Somebody just gave it to Kemba. Somebody just gave it to Kemba. And Kemba had a good game too, but he gave it up too. And Brogdon at 6.3, I wouldn't have an issue there. The price is up. That's gonna separate the men from the boys. You have to like Brogdon to play him at 6.3. I kind of have an affinity for him here in this spot because I think that Giannis has a down game, and a lot of people pay up for him, and he has a down game. So I'm gonna be rostering around him. Marvin Williams at 4.2 is a guy that I do have a little bit of interest in. I like Dwayne Bacon at 3.6. As long as he's under 4K, I'm going to have some of Dwayne Bacon, bro. I kind of like that kid, man. Give me Kemba at 8.2. I don't love Kemba. I'll wait till he goes back home. Yeah, I'll wait till Kemba goes back. I mean, he could go ham, but I'll wait till he goes back home. Maybe some Malik Monk off of the bench at 3K. I can get behind that, possibly. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, this is good. This is good. Next game we got is going to be the Golden State Warriors and the Dallas Mavericks. Now, the Mavs are at home in this spot. Dennis Smith Jr. is also a game-time decision here. We've got Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, all these cats coming off. They're coming off of getting tossed in that one game. The first thing we're going to be saying is, oh, man, this is probably going to be a blowout. So, you know, I can't play this guy. I can't play that guy. That's the first thing that we're going to be thinking. But you know what? We shouldn't always try to predict the blowout. You know what I mean? We shouldn't always try to predict the blowout. You know what I mean? And you got Golden State on the road. Man, Curry not give me. Oh yeah, give me Curry. Give me Curry. I love Draymond at 7.7. I think that's stealing. Draymond at 7.7 is stealing. I like that. And hopefully everything is okay with his knee issue. We do have Iguodala back, so that could cut into some of the bench minutes here. At 4.6, he may even be usable because he's still like the first man. Yeah, this game is hard. This is a hard game. This is a difficult game. This really is. This is a difficult game. But you know you can play point guards against them. Now Harrison Barnes, is a revenge narrative there for Harrison Barnes at 6.1? It could be. I can play him. Let's see what Harrison Barnes has done against the Golden State Warriors. He's done against the Warriors. 14, 35, 36. And he's all three matchups against them last year. Steph going to be suspended after throwing his mouth guard at ref like a 12-year-old. Now, if Steph is out, that does open it more up for KD, because we could be looking at a suspension for Steph, right? We could be looking at a suspension for Steph. I kind of like Nerlens too at 5K. Nerlens is a dope rebounder, and when they go small, bro, and when Golden State goes small, yo, Nerlens is the play from this game. Nerlens is the play from this game. I like Nerlens here. I'm on him. I'm on Nerlens. Maybe some Berea. I like Nerlens on the spot. Next game we got is going to be the Toronto Raptors and the San Antonio Spurs. 206-point total. We've got the Spurs at home. They, of course, are the favorite in this matchup, only by 2.5 points. We've seen LaMarcus Aldridge tear it up. We've seen LaMarcus Aldridge tear it up over the last couple of games. We got Paul Gasol here at 6K. DeJounte Murray, 5.4. It's tough to play guards, especially point guards, against the Toronto Raptors. But we have seen point guards destroy San Antonio in the past. So, yo, I've got no issue here jumping into Kyle Lowry at 7.7. DeMar DeRozan, man, he's a game-time decision dealing with – what was his ailment? I believe his ailment – let's take a look. Take a look here. Okay, left the game because of illness. Yeah, okay, so he should be good. DeRozan was considered questionable to play Saturday, but managed to go out. His performance despite lingering illness. He'll get a full day of rest before the Raptors engage Spurs on Monday, so he should be good to go. He should be good to go. He should be good to go. So, yeah, give me some DeRozan here at 8.2. I kind of like him in this spot. Danny Green at 4.6 is a decent play in the spot. I would like DeJounte Murray, but it just, point guards are so limited by what the Toronto Raptors do at the top on the perimeter. So I'm not loving them. CJ Miles, 3.6. I kind of like him in this spot here. Of course, we're probably going to see Serge Ibaka get a lot of minutes in the front court because Valanciunas is out in this spot. So you're going to see Serge Ibaka. You may even see some Lucas Negrera at 5K. He might even get the start here at 5K. So that's somebody you should definitely take a look at. You know what I mean? On the other side, we're looking at Rudy Gay at 5K. I kind of like him. I can play LaMarcus Aldridge here. It's Serge Ibaka is not the defender that he once was. LaMarcus Aldridge is in play, and he's actually like the only bedrock, or the bedrock guy from the San Antonio offense. So I think LaMarcus Aldridge is definitely in play here. Next game we got is gonna be the Washington Wizards and the Denver Nuggets. Yo, I went to go see the Wiz, man, and we didn't have any good seats in that. They were like 20 bucks. The seats were like 20 bucks. And so we fucking got 2 seats, had a great time. Ended up catching the second half of the game. John Wall, one of my favorite players in the league. Love to watch him play. While everybody's paying up in other spots, I'm going to be paying up for John Wall. I like him here at 10.3. Brad Beal at 8K. I'm going to play both of those guys together. Otto Porter had a monster game last time. I'm not falling for it again. Or I'm not going to chase that. But I do like Marcin Gortat at 6.1. Jason Smith, man, we got to find out exactly. He's a game time decision. He usually gets to start. And if he does play, he does start as a game time decision here. 3.6, man, that's usable, bro. Jason Smith is usable. Yeah, this is easily the best game on the slate. And I think a lot of people have been soured on what we've seen so far from the Denver Nuggets. If you get him at home and you get Nikola Jokic under 9K, I mean, you kind of got to play him in this spot. I mean, it makes no sense to, like, completely fade Nikola Jokic, especially if you're going to be rolling out multiple lineups. I mean, come on, man. Jamal Murray at 4K is a guy that I think you can get behind in this spot. I even like Wilson Chandler at 5.7. I kind of like him in the spot as well. Next game we got in the last game on the slate are going to be the Sacramento Kings and the Phoenix Suns. This game is probably going to be the least owned game on the slate for 2 reasons. Number one, it's Sacramento and it's Phoenix. And Phoenix is in a disarray. Earl Watson just was fired. Eric Bledsoe sent out some kind of crazy tweet, and now they're all talking about if he wants to get traded. So the team, Phoenix is in a disarray right now, right? Then you got the fact that it's a late game, and people hate to wait for their money. They don't like to play people in late games. So this is where you're going to get most of your value from. And I'm going to point you to the Sacramento Kings here because somebody is going to score 20-plus fantasy points or 30-plus fantasy points from Sacramento Kings. Somebody does it. Every game, somebody does it. Every game, every game, somebody scores 30-plus fantasy points. Every game, right? Pretty much. And what we've got here is everybody's priced under 6K. So that means there's 5X waiting to happen somewhere in the Sacramento Kings starting 5. I'm going to have some exposure to this game. I really am. I like Buddy Hield at 4.8. Love him under 5K. You look at Zebo at 5.5. He is usable. Carly Stein at 5.8. I like him. Maybe even some Scal, 4.6. De'Aaron Fox at 5.2. Yo, they're going to mop the floor with the Phoenix Suns. And I think you should play, but most definitely play. Look at Justin Jackson at minimums, stone cold minimum, bro. 3K. Oh my God, that's nutty. That's nutty. But I love Fox, man, at 5.2. You play backcourts against the Phoenix Suns here. Don't get caught up on the fact that it's the late game. You want to see your money now. Invest in this game, bro. I think this is a good one. The 210-point total, I would venture to say that it does exceed that because Sacramento, while being a fairly solid offensive team, they're not a great defensive team. They're not. And Phoenix should still be able to score with them. Devin Booker 7.2, kind of a virtual must play for me here, especially with Eric Bledsoe expressing his disdain for the direction of the organization. You've got TJ Warren at 5.6, a guy that you may want to get behind. I got no issue there. Even Tyson Chandler, man, at 4K, cheap as shit, bro. I like this game. George Hill at 5. Yeah. I said you could play the entire backcourt. You could play because you're gonna see George Hill probably is gonna get this. He's gonna get the start here and probably be okay because the back-to-back they was just on is over. They had a day of rest, so you're gonna see some George Hill. He should be cool. But me, I like De'Aaron Fox more. I like De'Aaron Fox more. But I mean, George Hill is in play. I mean, the backcourt is in play. You got George Hill, Buddy Hield, and De'Aaron Fox. All of those guys are going to be in play for me. I really like Sacramento Kings tomorrow. I really do. So we've gone through the games, man. We've got pretty much a solid player pool already set up. And I'm telling you, bro, the lineups that I make, they're going to come from the people that we talked about. So, this is going to be a good slate. I like this one. These last 2 games are going to be in it. And something I want to show you, man, if you take a look, let's go look at lineups. Because it's something that, I've been known for trying to throw this out there to you. And I think that a lot of people kind of lost sight of this. You lose sight of this sometimes. But I want to remind you. There's something I want to remind you about. All right. Later on in the day, right now it says it's only 8 games, 7 p.m. Later on in the day, they're gonna put up another turbo. They're gonna put up a late joint, right? And what I want you to understand is if you really like, make a lineup in the late and throw that bitch in the main, bro. Throw it in the main. I'm telling you, it works. It really does. So we've got 8 games popping off, man. Gonna be a really solid one. This has been your DFS Jerusalem. You can follow me on Twitter at DFS Jerusalem, letting you know, man, we keep it real, we keep it honest, and we always, always keep it 300. Peace. We out.